Your business is stuck and cannot run without this role. If you are a solo founder or the business relies on you to run and operate, you don't have a business model problem, you have an admin role problem. Let me draw out what I mean. In our ACTD quadrant, admin, commerce, tech, and delivery, your admin role is what actually glues all 3 and 4 of them together. So in the ACTD quadrant for power teams, the admin role is what glues the commerce, the tech, and delivery together into one dynamic org chart. Think about it this way. If you're constantly chasing invoices, if you're constantly fixing miscommunications, onboarding people over and over, rebuilding systems, and still feel like nothing is locked in, you don't have a sales problem, you don't have a tech problem, you don't have a delivery problem, you have an admin problem. And in this video, we will explore why. Now, this is the first training video to the ACT-D quadrant for power teams, and it's the fundamental quadrant admin, which creates the whole power team dynamic. Each quadrant is equally important. However, we start with admin, and then we go to commerce, tech, and delivery at the end. So this training is specifically on admin role for now. So let's look at what Google says about the admin role. I did a quick search and looked up what are the roles and responsibilities with the admin role in small and medium-sized business and startups. So I actually like what Google said about admins. In a small, medium business and startups, the admin role is a versatile center function, often acting as the glue that holds daily operations together. Admins wear multiple hats, handling a broad range of responsibilities across various departments, from general office support to critical financial and human resource tasks. So yes, you will, just as all the other quadrants, you will have a lot of hats. And each quadrant could have, a separate role within each one, like a sub role, like a subtitle. Admin, for instance, could have a financial officer, a human resource, and a operations officer. So here are some core responsibilities. The primary goal of admin in these environments is to ensure efficiency and organize, allowing other team members and executives to focus on the core business growth. So office management, communications hub, scheduling and logistics, documentation and record keeping, financial support, human resource support, and process involvement. So like I said earlier, you don't really have a sales problem, you don't really have a tech problem, you don't have a delivery problem, you have an admin problem that is not connecting the other 4 or the other 3 together. Admin is also what I would consider where the visionary startup idea or the founder with startup idea should start off with. He should act as the CEO in the admin role, or eventually you might hire somebody that is a general manager that can do a lot of the admin tasks for you, even if you don't want to stay in the admin role. Like perhaps you want to be more in the delivery side of things. If you're doing a YouTube channel, maybe you want to get an assistant, a virtual assistant, to help you with all those admin tasks, kind of repeatable tasks, easy to sort of like a checklist. So you hire a VA and you focus on delivery for your YouTube channel. Now you can kind of split these quadrants into multiple roles, but we'll get to that when we get to each other quadrant. Right now we're going to focus on the admin quadrant. So some of the in-house admin roles can be operations manager, office project admin, finance and building admin, and partner operations and coordinator. So office manager, let me write this down. So it's like the leadership. The leadership can consist of an office manager. I'm gonna call it the CEO. Then we have the office project admin. I'm gonna call that the COO, Chief Operations, and I'm gonna call the finance CFO. So these would be sort of your in-house admin roles or hats. The office manager, general office manager or general manager, CEOs, COOs, CFOs. And if you wanted to build a strong admin focused business model, you could think about fractional operations agency. And you can also think about admin as a service, which is very interesting. SOP and documentation studio, compliance and finance ops provider. Now that could be to do maybe just a part of the admin tasks. You probably won't do everything of business in the admin role that they would ask of you as a service, but maybe you can do their training as a service. Some of you guys might have taken like video training courses that are dynamic and they quiz you at the end. Something like Lightspeed is one of those, but there's dynamic training courses out there that will quiz you as you go. So that's a service that you can think about doing as well. And a few outsource or contractor admin roles, virtual assistant. So you can hire a VA. Is something that I think we should all recommend on doing. Bookkeeping partners, CRM and documentation contractors, CRM. And we have a CRM video that you guys need to look at if you want to start a CRM specific business or heavy focus CRM business. On-demand onboarding specialists. So here are some contractor services or services you can build a business around. Either for yourself, you can hire a VA, or you can build a VA business. Bookkeeping, CRM, and onboarding. So if you're looking at the screen, Act D quadrant times admin opportunity matrix. So this is a quick ChatGPT table that it spit out. I asked it to give me the ACT-D quadrant positions. So admin and admin to commerce, admin to tech, admin to delivery, sort of how they kind of work together. And then I asked it to cross it with opportunities, gaps or needs, that the admin role can fill, and a pitch for B2B offer. So if you're in B2C, I'll let you chat GPT that for yourself, but essentially admin, heavy focused pitch to sell to a business, a B2B offer. So admin to admin. So what's the admin to admin opportunity? Ops and governance owner. So operations, these are all the chiefs: CEO, COO, CFOs, and governance and owner. So a partner would very strongly be a chief of something, the CEO, for instance. Gaps, needs, and admin that the admin fills. So the problems could be that there are no pieces in place, no structure. They have verbal agreements, so they need to have it documented. The pitch would be, for admin to admin, we install your operational backbone, which is powerful. So think about all those traditional service businesses that have very little documentation and systems. You can quite literally build their foundation that they have in their minds into paper and be their agency or their contractor for the way they operate their business. And then from then on, you can add on additional services. So in an as needed basis. So now the admin to commerce. So let's say there's an opportunity with revenue, operations, and sales admin. So you can do initial sale, and then operations does a second sale. Well, how would the admin help with that? How would the admin get into the commerce quadrant and help with that? So think about maybe you're a contractor and you're painting the exterior of a house, and the homeowner now wants you to give them a quote to paint their basement. So that's an add-on. It's a second sale, but you're doing such a good job. The delivery's not going to be, ready to give a price out. How does the admin, maybe the admin or the commerce or together, can build an SOP for that? Maybe it's a sales admin. Maybe you just follow up a month later on their project and try to get a review. And amongst that top, you sell a add-on. Hey, we did the exterior of your house and you now want us to do your garage doors. Like, we did all the walls, but your garage doors a little tired looking or weathered out. Let's also paint your garage doors. So now you're painting a garage door from a call to see how they're doing a month later. So that could be an admin sell as well. So it's very dynamic. This quadrant can be very dynamic. So gaps or needs, lost leads. So if the commerce or the sales and marketing quadrant, whether they know they have it or not, if a business has lost leads, that's something that admin can help. Slow proposals, definitely. Salespeople and marketing people are great at pitching, at trying to sell, trying to prospect, but they're super bad at the speed of documentation. So they're not paper pushers. They're very slow. Admin people, on the other hand, we love pushing paper. So anything that can get DocuSign, anything that can get documented, signed off, and turned around quick through emails and stuff like that is something that the admins, it's their strong suit. Now, messy contracts. So yes, commerce would probably verbalize contracts like, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that, and it'll be messy. And the admin people know that that's not part of our standards. Like, you can't just go outside of what we can or cannot do, or you got to do it a certain way. And what are the B2B offers? We help you close deals faster without chaos. Perfect. So now you have a script in place. Now you have a agenda that you can go through a demo or presentation, or now you have these sales forms that you can fill out and market research that will help you actually sell, but also let the office know what the project's about. So maybe it's like, for instance, a paint job. Maybe it's like, how many doors do we need to remove? How many windows are in the house? How many floors is the house? So the salesperson might be able to do their own assessment to get a sales price and try to close a deal. And that can be anything. But how does the admin know what are the nitty-gritty details so that they can then pass it on to the tech and then delivery? Because commerce is probably not going to go outside their zone of expertise to do all that. So admin does a lot of glue work. Now, admin to text. So the admin to text could be opportunities for systems and documentation, administration, or so SOPs, standards, a role to a formula to improve and develop better solutions and improvement. So like an input box or a problem box that you guys can work on repeatedly and improve systems and help the business evolve. So a lot of companies don't even have a strong tech role or quadrant. So they wouldn't even know where to begin. And this is where the admin can actually help create this tech role quadrant and then help it start on the right foot. So some of the gaps and needs are tool overload. So maybe they're loading up a tool constantly and it's just not the best way to do it. No workflows, no data clarity. So a lot of the things could be they're just sending everything, like their only tech role is emails. They're overusing emails and everything is getting overloaded and there's no workflows other than digging through emails and after a while there's such a slow process in digging through all those emails and no data clarity. There's no CRMs, there's no master Excel sheets that kind of, or a project board that kind of separates phases of cycles of the sale or the project being delivered. So all those things can be, like I said, you can start them off on the right foot. So the offer we can pitch to B2Bs are, we turn tools into systems that actually work. So how do we actually make use of what you currently have? Maybe it's doing that plus this, or maybe it's changing it all completely. But we'll get them started on the right foot, or we'll just adopt them into a new system altogether. Like I said, a lot of people, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, don't have a strong tech role. In fact, I worked for a tens of $1 million company doing construction project management, and our tech systems for organization was based off on Microsoft, is it OneDrive? But the Microsoft Cloud. And we would do folders that we could all share and look into. And then within those folders, we would have subdivisions and then property lot numbers. And then within those property lot numbers, we would have all of our receipts, all of our Excel measurements. We would have our material order forms. So you can imagine, we're digging through a cloud to find a specific document. And it's very manual, but that worked for them. Now, we could have had a very robust CRM, and it could have probably helped us even more, but that's a simple way to do it, and it works immediately. Like, everybody knows how to use a shared cloud amongst other people. So you can use Google Drive, you can use Microsoft OneDrive, you can use, I think Apple has their own, but you can use several others. Now, admin to delivery. So what can admin do as far as implementing and helping out with delivery? So the opportunity exists is execution and customer experience. So a lot of the times our delivery, especially if we're in trades or service-based businesses, our delivery people, our professionals, aren't the most customer experience centric. Like, they are great people, but they're not the ones doing customer experience calls. They're not doing customer support. They're not able to really know the back office stuff and details that like admin or even commerce and tech would know. So this is where we can help with creating a great system or SOP on execution. How do we approach the client? How do we onboard the client as we get started? How do we exit the project for a happy experience? Maybe we want to get a review. How will we do that? What's the SOP for that? And then admin can also have experience. Maybe customer experience involves a completion form where we get a signature of satisfaction and things like that. So there's opportunity for that with delivery. And then we get that form, and then that's where admin calls and follows up and makes a second sell. So it kind of all ties in together. And consistent delivery. So what are the gaps or needs? In consistent delivery, no follow-up, no referrals. So yes, if our delivery is being inconsistent, if we don't have a standard, we won't know how to onboard the customer once we're in there. Like, if we need to be in their house, we probably should have a standard on onboarding them. If we're done with the project, we should probably have a standard on how to exit the project and get those signatures of satisfaction that a lot of delivery people don't want to do for whatever reason. They're shy about, so they just want to be done and get out. And we can't get referrals that way. So guaranteed, 100%, the vast majority of service businesses do not get referrals because there is no referral system, no referral SOP. And delivery could be our huge ROI to get more sales. Like, they could be the key ROI to making huge amounts of money and revenue if they just were able to do referrals. Like, can you refer me your neighbor, your family member? If we did a good job with painting your house, can you refer me a neighbor that's a friend? And chances are that most people that do decide to execute on a project, they are basing it off they're going with the person that they were referred to. So if you ask a friend that had their house painted, can you refer me somebody that paints houses or that painted your house, and you give them a call, you're probably going to hire them if you do decide to do that project. You're not going to compare them with 3 to 5 other people, because there's trust in that referral, and you feel confident with doing that. So referrals are a huge opportunity to add extra income to your business. What is the B2B offer? What's the offer we can do? We can pitch, we make quality and referrals repeatable. Perfect. Even delivery can benefit from a checklist, like a project management checklist. And that's something that admin can work with, because there's a COO right there, Chief of Operations Officer. Like, let's build a project management checklist for the delivery team. So there are like a dynamic way you can build a business. This is just kind of focusing on the admin, and a lot of these would work for B2C as well. So if your startup or your business runs on you, you don't have a commerce tech or delivery problem, you have an admin problem. And that's because admin is the glue to all of these 4 separate vertical roles. If you were to look at them, they're all managing kind of a vertical, but they all are integrated and they bleed onto one another. It's very dynamic. So before I get too far, I want to show you a third-party video. It's not my video, it's a video I found on YouTube that talks about a admin-heavy role, which is a virtual assistant. So how to use a virtual assistant in your business. Now that we talked about all the admin responsibilities and all the opportunities, all the gaps, all the B2B offers, even you can model it into B2C offers. Let's think about how this video can help us build or can help us assist in complementing our admin quadrant.
Way before I had employees at Trainual, I had virtual assistants. And before Trainual, I ran a consulting firm that I also hired virtual assistants for. So if you're a solopreneur just getting started, or maybe trying to supplement all of the bandwidth that your small team has today, a virtual assistant is an amazing way to add a little bit of capacity to your team. You gotta build your business around your life, and not your life around your business. Business ads are gonna sell you a fake lifestyle of supercars and fancy mansions. You can get a business up and running really quickly. How does it work? What are the different types of virtual assistants? That's what I'm gonna cover right now. When you hire a virtual assistant, you could either hire a dedicated virtual assistant, which is somebody that is 100% dedicated to you, meaning you only work with that person and that person only. So if you get a virtual assistant that's dedicated, it means maybe they've got an email address at your company, and you always know that your requests are being done by the same person. That can be a little bit more expensive, so if you're just getting started, you can hire a non-dedicated virtual assistant service.
I like that.
The first one I ever used is a tool called Fancy Hands. It sounds funny, but it's just, imagine a huge crowd, a bunch of people that are helping hands for whatever tasks you need done. So the way a non-dedicated service works is that you purchase credits, or you purchase a number of requests that you can use the service to some extent. And usually it's on a monthly basis. So you submit your request, and then somebody in the audience, someone in that crowd, will grab your request and do it. And so this works great for things like, calling customer support lines, or booking you appointments, or travel reservations, or purchasing things off Amazon.
Repetitive, tedious tasks, maybe like data entry is super mundane, easy to pick up. You could have a high school student do it, but definitely somebody in college as a part-time. So there's huge opportunities to even be in a Powerteam position as an admin, a virtual assistant, and be in school.
Doing research, the types of tasks that really anyone could do. What hiring a non-dedicated service does is it makes you really good at requesting tasks, because if they don't quite understand it, they're going to write back with questions, and you're going to have to answer those questions and fill in the gaps. And as you do that over and over, you get better at delegating, which is an amazing skill to learn as an entrepreneur or a leader in any business. And so I always recommend start with a non-dedicated assistant service like a Fancy Hands, so you get good at delegating. But then what you'll notice is that as you get more mature and you're making more requests, sometimes you just wish that the person had done the thing before. Because if they did a great job and you found someone that was so good at this thing, and it's a thing that you need to do over and over again in your business, maybe you want the same person doing that thing for you. And so that's when you move into having a dedicated virtual assistant. They don't have to be just working with you. Maybe you're only working with them 10 hours a week or 20 hours a week. So that can be an amazing next step for your business, where you get someone that has a dedicated email.
That could be 10 to 20 hours. That's saving you 10 to 20 hours, which is a whole lot of time if you're doing this part-time. So say you're working on your Powerteam and it's part-time, and you only have a few hours in the evenings to work on this, and you figure that like myself, I figured that in a week's time, I have about 30 hours. So if I add another extra 10 to 20 hours by having a virtual assistant, now I'm essentially 40 to 50 hour weeks. So, and I think we can do that for just about every role in our
quadrant. Company, they can do things like scheduling, they can do repeat tasks, and they can actually fit in and be part of your process in your business. It's like having a part-time employee. After a part-time dedicated virtual assistant, you might go to a full-time virtual assistant that is dedicated to you. And there's services like Upwork or Craigslist where you can find people that are looking for one company to work for, with the stipulation that they're remote, they're virtual, and they can work from anywhere. Again, it's a great role to fill for your business, and often can be a lot cheaper than hiring someone in your backyard, because there might be a lower cost of living in the place that you're hiring that full-time person. And then you might get to a point where you do need a full-time employee locally. And this is what happened to me. I had a dedicated virtual...
And so there are free marketplaces out there like Upwork and Craigslist and other sites that can connect you to virtual assistants in this case. But you know what? You could be a virtual assistant business service. Like there's people in your high school, in your college, or around you, or ways to connect people from Mexico, from other places and other countries, to a virtual assistant business, and the service is virtual assistant, and that can be a way to have a business service for yourself. So just an idea out there. But if that's not your initial Powerteam, I would strongly recommend look at this in a way that, yes, there's a lot of hats and responsibilities in the admin role, but you can delegate a lot of it. A lot of it can be delegated because it's repetitive. Those standards become repetitive. If there's a standard to doing delivery and there's a checklist for each project, your virtual assistant can do it for you. If there's a follow-up SOP with commerce after, you got to follow up a week later, a month later, they can do that for you.
Virtual assistant, I scaled them up from 10 hours to 20 hours to 30 hours. And then what I did was find a virtual assistant in my own city. And the advantage to that was that I could meet up with them at a coffee shop. They could run errands around town and drop items off for clients that I needed, and just help me with physical requests that you couldn't do virtually. And that's where it sort of bridges the gap into having a real employee. But allowing yourself to go from a service that you're requesting at the task level to a part-time virtual person to a full-time virtual person is an amazing way to just scale up that need, because you're building your muscles for delegation and you're getting to a point where you now know you have enough work for that.
Do you want to stop being a solopreneur? You got to learn how to delegate. You need to become a leader, and you become a people manager, a resource manager, an operations manager, a project manager, a general manager, but you're a leader. And this is a good way to go about it. They're essentially contract virtual assistant, either by project, by time, like an hourly rate, or by contract, like a month rate. And they do services for you, but you're delegating, you're exercising that leadership muscle in your brain. I'm not sure what's happening, but it's giving me a hard time playing. I don't think it's my internet. It might be YouTube. Anyways, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to use Daniel Priestley's capstone framework to look at that video we just saw and give me a question and solution, question and answer to this video regarding the capstone framework. Daniel Priestley. Look at the video link provided and give me a simple capstone framework by Daniel Priestley with question, a solution to. Okay, so we will use a lot of the business lessons from Daniel Priestley. He's got a bunch of books. Make sure you check out the playlist for Lifestyle Business Playbook as we adopt it to Powerteams. And it's sort of like your accelerator or startup program for your own business. Okay, so instead I'm asking, give me a capstone framework question to each point with a solution tailored to the admin quadrant and this video with the link provided. So the problem question: why should I trust you to talk about admin when my problem is growth, not paperwork? Solution: I've seen businesses stall, burn out, or break not because they lacked demand, but because admin wasn't owned. Admin is where cash flow, contracts, clarity, and continuity are protected. Our position: you speak as an operator, not as an assistant. Admin is framed as business critical infrastructure. So that's what it is. It's the glue. It's critical infrastructure. Now, authority: what makes you an admin perspective different from every other operations video? Solution: admin isn't a task list, which is not. It's a quadrant of ownership inside ACTD. When admin is designed properly, it multiplies commerce, tech, and delivery. That's exactly what it does. It sort of glues it all together. It's kind of like the lubricant in the machinery. It's like what makes the machinery work without it rusting or chipping away against each other. It reduces friction. It creates, like it said here, it creates a multiplier effect. It's actually helping. It's a compound effect. Problem: is this admin conversation even meant for someone like me? Answer: this is for founders and operators who are tired of being the glue, chasing invoices, fixing miscommunications, and holding everything together in their heads. So if that sounds like you, if you have a business, then this is actually perfect for you. Story: why do you even care enough about admin to build a framework around it? Solution: admin feels obvious to me when I saw how often good businesses struggle simply because nothing was documented, owned, or protected, and the founder paid the price. Trust: does focusing on admin actually produce results, or does it just slow things down? Every time admin ownership is installed, deals close faster, systems work better, delivery improves, and founders regain focus. Admin doesn't slow growth, it removes friction. Like I said, yes, it'll make business better. It'll take away the friction. Offer: okay, what do I actually do about this admin gap? Solution: the first step is clarity. This is why I created the admin gap scorecard. I'll show you how. I'll show you exactly where admin is helping or hurting your business. So yes, look for the admin scorecard. It'll be in the description below. You might need to be in the community to get access to it, but this is a way that you'll have a visual score on what are the gaps and needs that you need to build for your business. And each business is different, I understand that, but relative to all the possible admin needs that you could have, this will give you an idea of your score. N does not stand for network. It's supposed to stand for next steps, but either way, what's the network problem? Where does admin even fit if I don't want to hire a full-time ops person? Admin doesn't have to be internal. It has to be owned. Powerteam allows admin to exist as a partner role, fractional role, or shared service. So a fractional role can be like a contractor, somebody that does things for you, or a shared service can be a partnership. And that's something that we'll talk about, where you have a power team that focuses on one thing, and let's say it's very heavy on commerce, like it's doing marketing and their business revolves around heavy marketing and heavy sales, and you are a contractor that focuses on delivery. Well, together you can kind of work the admin as a joint venture. Like the joint venture is sort of that admin role that connects both admin and technology. So here's your marketing agency doing all the branding, all the paid ads, all the marketing and sales or lead generation. And then here's the painting contractor that's doing all the paint work. Well, if you were to joint venture or collaborate or work together a partnership, you can essentially create your admin solution. Now the admin solution can be a hybrid. Maybe do it in-house, but again, you could hire a VA, you can hire someone else, you can have a shared service where you guys both do it together. And then that also involves the tech. So it kind of goes hand in hand to partnerships as well. Or there could be a tech partner. If there's a tech partner here that does, the commerce person does all the lead generation, the delivery paints the houses, and the tech partner is a CRM, the deployment specialist. So he creates the CRM. So that's where all three kind of work together in your admin. So there's like a partnership that has been created. Either way, that's completely partnership based. But in-house, you can have an internal partner role. The partner role would ideally be somebody that acts as a CEO, COO, or CFO, or general manager. Okay, so let's do a bit of a role play story framework. So this is based on my personal experience. So story one, my kitchen renovation power team. So a few years back, I was doing sales. I was doing home service sales, and I was selling different products like gutters, windows, and bathroom remodels. But because of my history in construction, I also knew how to do other stuff. So one of the things I did was pretty cool was I was referred to doing a kitchen project, a kitchen renovation. And I had a couple kitchen renovations referred to me that way. So essentially what I had to do as an admin role, so this wasn't an actual incorporated business. This was just Felix being a weekend project warrior on the side. So what I was doing, I was remodeling these kitchens. And this particular client, I also remodeled their master bedroom bathroom. So what are the problems that are going to pop up? They're going to be missed schedules, change orders forgotten, payments delayed, trades blaming each other. So the admin gap that you would find is no centralized documentation, no scheduling or ownership, no payment tracking. And the admin Powerteam fix is there's a project admin that owns scheduling, change orders, vendor communications, and invoice cadence. So that's exactly what I did. Super simplified. To make the story short, what I would do is I got this referral. I called the referral, went to her house, saw what she needed, already have an idea of what I would be doing based on the phone call. I would be painting new kitchen cabinets, installing hardware, putting in countertops, backsplash, tile backsplash, and that was it. So very simple. And so I would schedule the trades, and the way I would schedule the trades, I knew a painter. I sourced a granite countertop person, and I was referred by the granite countertop person, my tile person. So it's very cool how it works. So in this case, I was sort of the project admin. You could call me the COO, and I gathered these contractors together. I was acting like the CF when I sort of agreed to their service fee and sourcing of materials. I acted like the CEO as far as operating the whole thing and schedules and all that. And communications, we needed a key from her to go in the house, and the multiple days we were doing it. I was only working on it on the weekends, but throughout the week, the painter, the granite person, and the tile person will be working it throughout the week. So I didn't need to be there, but I was in communications with them, throughout the day or in the evenings. And what happened was we did a good job with the kitchen, and she said, hey, how about you also do my master bedroom bathroom? So what we did there, we installed granite sink countertop. We installed a backsplash, and that was it. It was a very simple, small project. We didn't do much painting over there, and she was happy camper. So that's one story of a weekend warrior. So through customer experience, I got a second sell, you could say. So that's a very simple story for a kitchen renovation. How about my story about a website building? So my cousin, he does gutter installs. And I didn't work for my cousin, but he has his own company and they do their own gutter installs. And he was having trouble getting a online presence. So what was his problems? He was scope creep. I guess that means that ChatGPT understands that as unknown to the market. Client confusion. Maybe he didn't seem professional. Misaligned. Designers and developers misaligned. Those are problems he didn't really have because he just didn't have a great website. He had a website from I believe he said a friend charged him as he was trying to learn website building, but it was not a good one. It was very static, very outdated. It didn't look like it was dynamic. It didn't feel sort of like modern, updated website. What's the admin Powerteam fix? So admin installs client intake forms, scope documentation, and milestone building. So what I did, again, in this case, I did all these roles. I talked to a customer, which is my cousin. I sold him the idea that if he wanted to have a website, he also needed to have a Google My Business profile on search. So something where he can be searched and Google will show an address and reviews. So I built the website as like the tech person, and I delivered the website, delivered the Google search, build a form, build dynamic buttons where he can just get text immediately and calls immediately from the webpage, not having to copy or write down the numbers and then go to the dialer on the phone and do that. And he could get emails. So it's a very dynamic, and that was all done single-handedly. The reason I did not build a website agency was because it takes a lot of work. If you can imagine trying to make a living and you have no experience and it takes tens of hours to learn how to build websites, and you learned the skill of building websites, which is like a tech skill. Delivery can also be the website builder, but you got to know the tech. You got to understand how they work. So you learn these two roles, and then you got to sell them and market them. And I was doing this by myself, like on the side. So I learned it, but it wasn't scalable. Not the way I thought about it at the time. So at the time, I didn't see a way that I could scale it. It was going to take too long. It took me maybe 1 or 2 weeks to build that website, so not scalable. Wouldn't make too much money either, because if I wanted to do this full time, I really needed to make a lot more money. And again, solo founder operated, so I would essentially manage the whole quadrant. Not a good way to build a startup. So if you're thinking about doing something solo, it does not work. Let's put a person in admin, a person in commerce, a person in tech, and a person in delivery. My story number 3, my YouTube channel. Powerteam has the model for this ACTD Quadrant. But the problem is missed uploads, inconsistent branding, no feedback loop. So if you've tried, or you're trying, or you're going to try starting a YouTube channel, you might have missed uploads. Maybe you want to post 1 video a week. Maybe you want to post 2 videos a week, and you miss the uploads. One of the biggest reasons it took me this long to start this Powerteam specific YouTube channel was I kept pushing it off. And then I wanted to put out my first video like in October, actually September. I did everything I could. I did the research, I did the script, and for one reason or another, I doubted myself, then pushed it to October. And again, I redid another script, redid another angle at it. I was going to do this type of series, and I was so invested in all this research, and I was overload stagnation that I didn't do anything. Then it became December, it became November, and I was really going to do it because it's my birthday month. And if I didn't do it, I would feel terrible about myself. And guess what happened? I didn't do it. So I go through November without doing it. Again, I did a lot of research, pivoted my video to the 10th time, and in December, I'm like, I give up trying to be perfect. I cannot do this perfectly, but I need to try to do it. So the goal was to upload in December 1 video a week, so that I could start the new year with 4 videos. I was going to have enough time because of all the holiday breaks and like Christmas and New Year's. So I thought I would be able to just, work a lot of hours, and towards those breaks, I had some extra days off and put some time. And all I got was 1 video. I was able to post 1 video, and for the following weeks, I wasn't able to post any. And again, I second guessed myself. I didn't want to do it. So if you're trying to build a media business or a YouTube channel or anything like that, it's not easy doing it all yourself. So this YouTube channel is currently open for an admin role person, because if you're better at admin than I am, I want you. A commerce role person, if you're better at marketing and sales, I need you. A tech role person, if you're better at tech, which you probably should be, I need you. That includes video editing, production, graphics, design for thumbnails, all that stuff. And if you're better at delivery, I actually do want to have a partner with delivery. Maybe I don't have to do this alone. Maybe it can be a podcast style. Maybe it can be a virtual Zoom video talking dynamic. Like, it can be dynamic. And maybe I don't need to be the face of this YouTube channel. I know it's got my name on it, but I'm okay with changing that. I'm okay with taking my name off. But if you can be better than me, which shouldn't be too hard, if you want to be vested in a Powerteam, you'll get ownership, like pretty equal ownership, and rightfully. So what are the admin gaps that this admin role could be having? No content calendar ownership, no asset management, no role clarity. So yes, calendar is just messed up. Like I said, it took me months to even post my first video. No role clarity, asset management. Luckily, through those months, I was able to systemize a lot of my management, like documents, research, and all that stuff. So I'm in a better spot than where I was months ago, but still definitely not 100% like the veteran YouTubers out there. Admin Powerteam fix. So content admin owns publishing cadence, asset storage, task tracking, partner accountability. Perfect. Like, if you can do that for me, join my YouTube channel Powerteam. Like, if you can do all those things for me, join my YouTube channel Powerteam. And if you just want to partner and you have an idea of starting a YouTube channel, you can work with me like a project, like get some experience, see what I'm doing, see how you can help me. Then that gives you confidence to doing it yourself for your own YouTube channel. Perfectly fine with that. So here is an idea for a product ecosystem. Again, that's one of Daniel Priestley's methods for doing business. A free gift, ACTD admin gap scorecard. So go build that scorecard. Make sure you look for it and fill it out. Get your scorecard, admin scorecard, and result. Admin SOP starter pack. I'm not sure about that one. Is admin blocking your growth checklist? That's pretty cool. If you want to help me build these assets, I'd be very interested in connecting with you as well. Then we have entry products. Admin clarity sessions. That could be like a consulting call or a workshop. Ops audit, ACTD based. Again, a consulting call. Admin workflow mapping. That could be like a consulting call as well. All 3 could be like its own consulting or a combined consulting call. And it could be sold. So if you want to be a consulting for Powerteam, specifically for admin, or in general for any other one of the products, join the Powerteam. Core offer. So let's build a $1,000 to $3,000 offer. Admin system installation. Pretty cool. How about a admin founder partner installation as well. SOP plus ops playbook, fractional admin setup, pretty cool. So until you find your admin partner and train him up, let's do this fractional admin setup where we do it for you. We do the admin work for you, like an agency, and it's 30 to 60 days. Pretty cool. If you want to be in any of these products Powerteam offers and share the revenue or the sale, let's build it. Leverage products that scale, admin as a service retainer. So think about doing these products or businesses, admin Powerteam templates, vertical specific admin playbooks. So eventually we're going to build these roadmaps. So these roadmaps are our version of playbooks, except that we actually walk you through the destination. And I want that to be in a group setting, maybe a committee, maybe a mastermind, maybe a niche vertical group, support group. Like if we were to join YouTube channels together and each one helps each one in growth. Maybe we're watching each other's video, we're commenting on each other's videos, maybe we're supporting, we're doing video podcast collaborations with one another. So things like that. Maybe it's in the traits, maybe we're cross selling each other. Maybe I'm a painter and I need new trim work at the house, or we need new carpet, or we need housekeeping, or we need new driveway. So there's different trades that you can cross sell. Partner match admin roles inside Powerteams. Yes, so you want to be part of the community, of the Powerteam community, because there are opportunities for roles that will match your strong set of skills and qualities and characteristics. So maybe you're very organized, you're a multitasker, or you think you're a multitasker. I still don't understand what multitasking skills are like because I'm very tunnel focused and I get tunnel vision. But you think you're good at that and you think the admin role suits you best, become an admin role Powerteam candidate. Powerteam position line, we don't just fix admin, we turn it into a growth asset. And that's exactly what it is. Admin is sort of like the glue, but it's also a asset, and it's what helps growth. It really helps the machine work. It helps the gears turn. It removes friction, it removes stress. And think about, without admin, something's going to give. Commerce is going to give. They're making sales, but nothing can get across to delivery. Delivery is not able to fulfill satisfactory, and the client can't be objectively handled or have that customer experience to de-escalate problems and situations and issues. The tech doesn't know how to help, what to do, and nobody's using their tech advice or their systems. So admin is key and fundamental. I think if we were to draw this into a pyramid, which we're not because each role is equally important, admin would be the foundation piece of that pyramid. Okay guys, so we just went through the admin role in the quadrant. Now this doesn't cover 100% of all the things that you will come across the admin role. That's why we have the community. That's where we would be able to really look into the nitty-gritty details in each case by case, your Powerteam specifically, your startup specifically, or your role specifically. And that's why we have the community. Find the community below, make sure you join. And make sure you stick around for the next video where we talk about the commerce role. And in the commerce, we'll be looking into our sales models. So for admin, that is all. And it's a learning role. It's a growing role, and it's got a lot of hats. But I am confident that identifying this role can be a key for you to have ownership, to have success in your Powerteam, and to learn and grow to a limit, or to be unlimited only by your potential. So if you want to be a leader, if you want to be a CEO, if you want to be a COO, if you want to be a CFO, maybe you get to the point where you hire VAs, or you're hiring bookkeeping, where you're hiring CRMs, where you're hiring onboarding support. That's okay, but don't give yourself limits. Be a leader to your team, and your commerce partner, your tech partner, and your delivery partner will look up to you because you're the glue that connects everyone together. You're what gives meaning and purpose to the whole business model, to the whole Powerteam, and you also make the culture possible. So I don't think you have to be super extroverted. I don't think you have to be shy if you're introverted either. Your role will be fundamental to everyone. You're very valuable in this Powerteam, and I believe you'll own it. I believe you will be a vital part of this organization. So if the admin role is a role that interests you, I'll definitely invite you to join our community. See what admin role positions are out there for you to join. Or maybe you are a startup founder with a startup idea, or you're a business manager or a business owner that already has a business. You don't necessarily need the admin role filled. You can do that yourself, but maybe learn about it. Learn what are the hats and how you can cross complement each of the other three roles. So I'll leave you with that, and check out the next video in this series as we help you grow a lifestyle business with this ACTD training course. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out, and truly you'll gain a lot. So I'll see you in the community, and if you want free stuff, check the comments below for our giveaways.